My beloved, I know you find yourself standing at a place where the way ahead seems blocked, where the road is nothing but an endless stretch of despair. You look around and all you see are walls. Walls built by disappointment, walls constructed by the weight of your past, walls made by the impossible situations you are facing. And in this moment your heart cries out, where is the way? Where is the hope? What's left to hold on to? You feel trapped, confined in a place where escape seems unattainable. But, my child, I want to remind you of something that I have spoken to my people time and again. I am the God who makes a way where there is no way. When Israel was trapped between the Red Sea and the armies of Egypt, when the situation seemed hopeless, when there was no earthly solution to be found, I parted the waters. I made a way through the impossible. I led them out of bondage, not by opening a path that was already clear, but by making a new path, one that no one could have predicted, one that only I could orchestrate. Even now, I am making a way for you. It may not look like the way you imagined, it may not follow the map that you've been holding on to so tightly, but I am at work behind the scenes, carving out a path in places where there is no way, creating opportunities in places where there is only uncertainty. When you see no future, I am already laying the foundation for your breakthrough. You are not alone in this. You have never been alone, not for a single moment. Even now, as you stand on the precipice of despair, as you look into the wilderness ahead of you and see no clear direction, trust that I am working. I am not distant. I am not indifferent. My presence surrounds you. My hands are already at work, weaving the threads of what seems like chaos into something beautiful, something purposeful. The wilderness you're facing right now, it's not your end. It's not your grave. It's the beginning of a journey that will reveal the depth of my provision. I am creating rivers in the dry places, and where you once saw nothing but barrenness, you will soon see abundance. Where the soil was once too hardened for growth, I am softening it. Where the sky seemed silent and far, I am sending rain. But even in this, you must choose to believe that the miracle is unfolding. I know it feels hard, almost impossible, to believe that the way forward will ever be visible. But remember, my child, my timing is not yours. Just because you cannot see it now does not mean it is not coming. The miracle is not delayed. It is being shaped. My plans are being prepared for you in the quiet, in the unseen places. Do not rush ahead in fear or attempt to force open doors that aren't ready to be opened. Wait on me. Trust in the way I am making for you, even when you don't yet see it with your natural eyes. Trust that in the stillness, I am at work, creating what is needed for your future. Right now, you may not understand the how or the when, but I want you to focus on the who. The one who made a way through the sea, the one who parted the waters, is the same one who is making a way for you today. Nothing is impossible for me. I will not leave you stranded in this place. What seems like an obstacle will become a stepping stone. The path that seems so dark will light up with the very brightness of my glory. I have already made a way for you. Trust in that. In the moments when doubt creeps in, when the walls feel too high to climb, remember that I am the God of miracles. I am not just making a way, I am the way. I will guide your steps. I will direct you, even when the road ahead seems unclear. There is nothing that can stop me from fulfilling my promises to you. Trust, my beloved, you are not forgotten, not forsaken. You are being led by the one who knows the way, who has already made the way, and who will see you through it all. You are walking into something greater than you can imagine, and this moment of uncertainty is merely the preparation for the blessings that are coming. Do not fear the wilderness. Do not fear the uncertainty. I am making a way, and it will be more glorious than you can imagine. My child, as you stand here today, grappling with the weight of uncertainty, I want you to know that every challenge you face, every obstacle you see, is not too much for me. It may feel like you're on the edge of something that you cannot cross, and that the path ahead is impassable. You may look around and feel as though every door is closed, that every effort has led to a dead end. The enemy may whisper lies that this is the end, that there is no future for you beyond this moment. But hear my words clearly. This is not the end. This is the turning point, the moment where my power will be displayed in ways you could never imagine. What feels like a dead end is just the beginning of the way I'm preparing for you. Remember when Israel stood before the Red Sea, trapped between the waters and Pharaoh's advancing army? For their eyes, there was no escape. The sea stretched before them, vast and unmoving. The sound of Pharaoh's chariots echoed in the distance, growing nearer. They had no weapons, no way to fight back, no way forward. They were stuck, and they were afraid. Yet in that moment of complete helplessness, I made a way. With a breath of my command, the sea parted and they walked through on dry ground. What they saw as an impossibility became their path of deliverance. Do you not understand, beloved? What seems like the greatest obstacle in your life right now is the very thing that will reveal my greatness in you. You are not facing this alone. You are not stuck, and you are not abandoned. I have already begun to move. What looks impossible to you is a setup for a miracle in my hands. You are at a moment in your journey where the miracle is unfolding. Even when you can't see it, you cannot always see the full picture yet, but rest assured, I am painting a masterpiece with every step you take. Do not look at your situation through the lens of your own strength, but through the lens of my limitless power. I see what you cannot see. I know the way forward, even when it's hidden from you. You are being led by the God who made the heavens and the earth, who calls the stars by name and moves mountains with a whisper. There is no power greater than mine, no challenge that is too big for me, and no path too rugged for my grace to smooth. You may not feel like you're on the right path. You may feel as though the terrain is too treacherous, but I am walking with you. I am holding you step by step. You may be thinking, but how do I trust when I see no way forward? I understand the weight of that question. It's hard to trust when you're standing in the midst of a storm. It's hard to believe when you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But I am calling you to a deeper faith. A faith that doesn't depend on visible answers, a faith that doesn't rely on your ability to see the future. I am asking you to trust in me, not because you can see the way ahead, but because I am the way. Look at the life of my son, Jesus. When he walked this earth, he didn't always know where every step would lead, but he trusted me fully. He knew that my plan was greater than anything he could have understood on his own. His life wasn't about knowing everything or seeing everything clearly. It was about trusting me completely, and when the journey led him to the cross, when the path seemed to go straight into the darkness of death itself, he trusted that I was still at work. He knew that I was still making a way, even when all seemed lost. And in that moment of apparent defeat, I brought the greatest victory, the victory over sin, over death, and over every obstacle that stands between you and eternal life. You are no different, beloved. I am making a way for you just as I made a way for Jesus. I am not absent from your struggles. I am not distant from your pain. In fact, I am closer to you than you can comprehend. Just as I was with Jesus in his darkest moments, I am with you now, leading you through the wilderness, guiding you through the storm. You may not see the way immediately, but trust this. I am working behind the scenes. I am clearing paths, opening doors, and making a way where there seems to be none. You are walking a road that I have already paved. Even the hardship you face is part of the path I have prepared for you. Do not despise the journey. Even the detours, even the struggles, are shaping you, refining you, preparing you for the greatness that lies ahead. I do not waste anything, my beloved. Every moment, every tear, every challenge is being used for your good and for my glory. In the natural, you may not see the resources you need to move forward. You may feel weak, uncertain, and ill-equipped, but I will supply everything you need for this journey. You will not lack for what is required. The provision may not come in the form you expect, but it will always be sufficient. When the Israelites were in the desert, I provided manna from heaven, water from a rock, and protection from their enemies. They had no way of seeing how I would provide, but I always did. In the same way, I will provide for you. There are things you are praying for, things that feel so far out of reach, and I know the weight of your longing. But you must understand, my child, that my way of answering your prayers is not bound by time or circumstance. I will bring about what I have promised in your life, even when it seems impossible. I do not operate on your timeline, not constrained by the limits of human understanding. My ways are higher than your ways. My thoughts are higher than your thoughts. When I say I will make a way, believe that I will do it, even when it doesn't make sense, even when the world tells you it can't be done. My ways are always perfect, always timely. Right now, the way I am making for you is a way that will lead to greater intimacy with me. You may be focused on the outcome of your prayers, on the blessing, the provision, or the breakthrough, but know this, I am working even more deeply in you than you realize. As I make a way through the wilderness, I am drawing you closer to my heart. I am revealing more of who I am to you. You will find that this journey, though difficult, is also filled with my presence, and my presence is enough. It is all you need. When the road ahead seems unclear and when you can't see how the pieces will fall into place, remember that I am making a way. Trust that I am working in ways you cannot yet see. Trust that I am preparing you for something more beautiful than you can imagine. You are not walking this journey alone. You are walking with me, the one who makes the impossible possible, the one who speaks and the world is created. I am making a way for you, and I will lead you every step of the way. My beloved, I know the road you're walking feels uncertain. I can sense the confusion, the hesitancy, and the weight of the unknown pressing in on you. You may feel like you're surrounded by walls, by barriers that you can't see through or over. You may wonder why the path seems so unclear, why things aren't happening the way you thought they would, why the miracle is still waiting to unfold. But I am here to reassure you, just because you cannot see the way forward doesn't mean it isn't there. It simply means that I am still at work. Look at the Israelites once again. After crossing the Red Sea, they entered the wilderness. They had been freed from slavery, yet they still faced difficult terrain, barrenness, and uncertainty. They had left the enemy behind, but now they were in a new place, a place that seemed like another kind of struggle. And yet, even in the wilderness, I provided for them. I led them by a pillar of cloud by day and fire by night. I fed them with manna from heaven and gave them water from a rock. I did not abandon them just because they found themselves in the wilderness. I need you to understand this truth, dear one. Your current wilderness does not mean I have abandoned you. It doesn't mean that my promises have failed or that your prayers are unheard. It is simply the space where I am building your trust in me, where I am working deeper within your heart. Wilderness seasons often feel like the hardest, and yet they are the ones that shape us the most. They are the times when I refine you, when I teach you to trust me even when you don't understand, when you learn to lean on me in a way that deepens your relationship with me. These seasons are never wasted, my child. So, even when you feel like you're walking through a dry, barren desert, trust that I am making a way. Even when the heat of the day makes you weary, I am leading you through. You cannot always see how I am working behind the scenes, but I assure you, my hand is upon you. I have already planned your path. I am clearing obstacles that are ahead, preparing you for what you cannot yet see. You may be waiting for a breakthrough, for an answer to your prayers, for the resolution to the situation you're in. But I want to tell you this, just because the answer has not yet come does not mean it is not coming. I have heard every prayer, seen every tear, and felt every longing of your heart. I know what you need, and I am not withholding from you. The breakthrough is coming, but I need you to understand that sometimes the wait is part of the process. I am building your faith, your character, and your dependence on me. The journey, even in its waiting, is transforming you into who I've created you to be. I have made a promise to you, and I am a God who keeps my promises. I will make a way in the wilderness. I will create streams in the desert. I will open doors that no one can shut, and I will lead you through paths of righteousness for my name's sake. Trust me, even when the way forward is hidden from you. When you cannot see, I can still see. I know the end from the beginning, and I will guide you step by step until the day I lead you into the full promises I have for you. You may not have all the answers right now, and that's okay. You don't need to know everything. What you need to do is trust me. Trust that I am making a way even when you can't see it. Trust that I am working on your behalf even when you don't understand the timing. My ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. You can trust that what I have planned for you is greater than anything you could have ever imagined. And so, my child, keep walking even when the road feels unclear. Keep trusting even when the answer is delayed. You are not alone in this. I am walking with you, and I will continue to make a way for you one step at a time. As you trust me, you will see that the way forward will be revealed, the miracle will unfold, and you will see how I have been leading you all along. I want you to pause and reflect on the truth that I have not forgotten you. Yes, I see the weight you carry. I understand the confusion that clouds your mind, the feelings of inadequacy that try to take root in your heart. But beloved, your story is far from over. What you see as obstacles, I see as opportunities. What you feel is impossible, I see as a chance to display my glory. What feels like a wall is about to become a doorway. I know the path ahead seems uncertain, even impossible. You're staring at a sea of challenges, a desert of silence, and it feels like there's no way out. But you're not alone in this, and the fact that you can't see the way does not mean I have abandoned you. No, this is exactly where I want to reveal my power. This is the moment where I will show you that there is no such thing as impossible when I am involved. The God who split the Red Sea is the same God who walks beside you. The God who called the Israelites out of Egypt and through the wilderness is the same God who calls you out of your current struggles into a life of victory. What you see as a dry desert, I see as fertile ground. I am the one who makes rivers flow in the wilderness and brings life where there was once barrenness. Just as I parted the waters for the Israelites, I will make a way for you. I will clear the obstacles that stand in your way. The very path you think is blocked is the place where I will work miracles. Now, I want you to consider this. The Israelites walked through the Red Sea on dry ground. Do you realize what this means? It means that when I move, I don't just make a way. I make the way easier than you could have imagined. I didn't part the sea and leave them to wade through the water. No, I made the ground dry. I took away the struggle, the challenge, the difficulty that they might have expected. And in that very moment when the water was parted and the ground was dry, they were walking through a place that seemed impossible. But that was where I was at work. Just as I did for them, I will do for you. There may be giants ahead, mountains that seem unmovable, oceans that seem to stand between you and your destination. But I am the God who speaks to mountains, and they must move. I am the God who commands the waves, and they must obey. When I say make a way, I am not merely speaking about a small path. I am speaking of a way that is abundant, a way that provides more than you could ever dream. You may think you are stuck. You may feel surrounded by circumstances that scream, no way forward. But I am declaring to you today, I am making a way. You will walk through this season of difficulty, just as the Israelites walked through the Red Sea. You may not see how the miracle is coming, but you must trust me. What I am doing now is behind the scenes, orchestrating every moment for your good. I know what you need even before you ask. I know the desires of your heart and the path that will bring them to fulfillment. This is why I ask you to trust me even when the way is unclear. This is why I call you to walk in faith, not by sight. Perhaps you are tired of waiting. Perhaps you have grown weary of walking through what seems like an endless wilderness. But I promise you this, there is an end to this journey. And at the end of this path, you will see my goodness, my faithfulness, and my glory. Your waiting is not in vain. The dry desert will bloom. The barren land will be filled with water. Your miracle is not delayed. It is unfolding in my perfect timing. The struggle you face is not a sign of my absence. No, it is the proof of my presence. It is the soil in which your faith is being nurtured. It is the crucible in which your character is being refined. Do not despise this time. Do not rush through it. I am doing something beautiful in you and through you. When you find yourself in a place where it seems like paired, remember this. God who made a way for the Israelites in the wilderness is the same God who will make a way for you. You may not see it now, but I am at work even in the silence. I am at work even in the waiting. I am at work in ways that you cannot yet understand, but in due time you will see. I know the enemy will try to make you doubt. He will whisper lies that tell you that you're stuck, that there's no hope, that you've reached the end of the road. These are lies. Do not listen to them. I am not finished with you. My plan for you is far from complete. Trust me. Even when you can't see the way, trust that I am making a way. Let me remind you of this truth. Your struggle, your waiting, your uncertainty. None of it is wasted. I am redeeming every moment. I am using every part of your journey, even the difficult parts, to mold you into the person I created you to be. And I will use your testimony to bring glory to my name. Just as the Israelites walked through the Red Sea, you will walk through your challenges. Just as I brought them out of slavery and into freedom, I will bring you out of your struggles and into a place of victory. You will see that the way I made for you was not just a path to freedom, but a path to purpose, to growth, and to deeper intimacy with me. Remember this, my child, I am the God who makes a way where there is no way. The path may not always be clear to you, but I see the whole picture. Trust me, keep walking, keep believing, keep waiting on my timing. The way forward will be revealed in due time, and when it is, you will be amazed at the beauty and grace with which I lead you through. As I speak these words to you, my precious child, I want you to know that there is a rhythm to this process, a divine cadence that I am inviting you to walk in. You may not always see the steps ahead, but I promise you, each step is part of a divine orchestration. In your journey, every move you make is being divinely guided by the hand of the one who sees the end from the beginning. I am not leading you through blind chaos. I am guiding you with wisdom, with love, and with an intentional purpose that you cannot always grasp in the moment. There will be moments in your walk where doubt will rise, where the voice of fear will try to drown out my whispers of assurance. The enemy will try to convince you that this is just another dead end, that this struggle is pointless. But remember this, I have already overcome the world. I have already walked the path before you. Exactly where I am leading you. You will not be lost and you will not be abandoned. There may be times when you feel alone, but know this, my child, I am always with you. When the Israelites walked through the Red Sea, the water stood up on either side, towering above them like walls. The path was not just a way, it was a miracle. Can you imagine the fear and the awe they must have felt walking through that parted sea? It was a place of wonder, but it was also a place of trust. It was the place where they had to step forward without knowing how it would end. They had to believe that I was going to hold back the waters long enough for them to cross safely. And in that moment of uncertainty, I was their certainty. Just as I led them through the impossible, I will lead you through yours. You may not see how it will unfold. You may not know what tomorrow will bring. But trust that I am making a way for you, even when it seems like no way exists. Every step you take in faith is a step toward the fulfillment of my promise for your life. You are not walking this journey alone. I am right beside you, every step of the way. Even when the waters seem to rise, I will not allow you to be swept away. The path you are on is not an accident. I have prepared it, and I have been preparing you for it. Every challenge you have faced, every heartache you have endured, every door that has been closed, all of it has been part of my greater plan. I do not waste pain. I do not waste time. I do not waste tears. Every moment has been shaping you, refining you, and drawing you closer to the person I have created you to be. I know you've questioned why things have happened the way they have. You've wondered why certain doors have remained closed, why opportunities have passed you by. Trust this, I have closed those doors to protect you, not to punish you. I see the bigger picture. What you thought was a setback was actually a setup for something greater. What you thought was a loss was actually a blessing in disguise. I am the God who turns mourning into dancing, sorrow into joy, and loss into gain. I will take what the enemy meant for harm and use it for your good. You are not where you are by accident. Every part of your journey has been leading you to this moment. There are moments when you will feel overwhelmed by the size of the mountain ahead of you. But remember this, you don't need to climb it on your own. You don't need to carry that weight alone. I am making a way through the mountain, just as I made a way through the sea for the Israelites. Your journey will not be about your strength or your ability to overcome. It will be about your willingness to trust me and take the next step, even when the way seems uncertain. When you encounter a mountain, you will feel like you are facing something too big, too insurmountable. But I am the God who moves mountains. I am the God who makes the impossible possible. You don't need to focus on the size of the mountain in front of you. What you need to focus on is the one who is making a way through it. When you trust me, I will move the mountain on your behalf. When you follow me, I will lead you around it, through it, or over it. But you will never be left standing in front of it alone. The Israelites, after crossing the Red Sea, came to a place called Marah, where the water was bitter and undrinkable. They were thirsty, and the water they found was not the solution they hoped for. But I provided for them in a way they did not expect. I told Moses to throw a piece of wood into the water, and when he did, the bitter water began to flow. This is the kind of God I am. When you feel like the situation before you is bitter and unfulfilling, I will bring sweetness from it. When you are weary and thirsty, I will quench your thirst in ways you cannot even imagine. In this journey, there will be moments where it feels like you're walking through a wilderness with nothing to sustain you, with no clear direction. But just as I provided manna from heaven for the Israelites, I will provide for you. Just as I brought water from a rock in the desert, I will refresh your soul. I am not the God who leaves you to fend for yourself. I am the God who provides, sustains, and makes a way even when the resources seem scarce. Do not fear the wilderness. It is in these places where my provision is most evident. It is in these places where my strength becomes most apparent. You do not need to have everything figured out. You do not need to know all the answers. What I ask of you is to keep moving forward, to trust me with each step, to let me lead you, and to believe that I am making a way for you. You may not see the full path now, but keep walking, keep trusting, keep praying, and in due time I will reveal what you could not see before. There will be moments of doubt, moments where you wonder if you're truly on the right path. Remember this, I am the God who has promised to make a way for you. The way may not always look like you expect, it may not always be smooth or easy, but it will be the way I have prepared for you, and when you follow it, you will find life, peace, and fulfillment beyond what you can imagine. My child, the way is being made. You may not see it yet, but trust that I am working. Keep your eyes on me, keep your heart open. I am with you, and I am making a way for you. The breakthrough you've been waiting for is coming, and when it does, you will look back and marvel at how I brought you through every trial and challenge, every closed door, and every dead end. You will see that the way I made for you was not just a path to freedom, but a path to something even greater than you could have imagined. And at the end of it all, you will stand in awe of the one who makes a way where there seems to be no way. My beloved, hear this deeply. When I say I am making a way, I am not simply speaking of one solution, one breakthrough, one door that opens. I am speaking of a continual unfolding, a stream of grace that keeps flowing in your life. My way is not a momentary intervention, it is a lifestyle of divine leading. It is the evidence that your steps are ordered, your life is held, and your destiny is secure in me. So often you look at your circumstances and measure them by what is visible. You measure by what makes sense to your natural eyes, but remember, my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. I see what you cannot see. I see generations ahead, while you only see today. I see the eternal plan, while you only see the temporary problem. And because I see it all, I am weaving your story in a way that will glorify my name and bless your life beyond measure. Do not underestimate the process. The way I am making is not always sudden. Sometimes it unfolds slowly, like dawn breaking after a long night. At first you may only see a faint glimmer, a hint of light on the horizon. But as you keep trusting, as you keep walking, that light will grow brighter until the full day has come. You may not see the full picture at once, but trust that the light is increasing, and I am guiding you step by step. Remember Abraham. I called him to leave everything familiar, everything comfortable, and go to a land I would show him. He did not have a map. He did not have the full details. All he had was my word. Go. And as he walked in obedience, step by step, I unfolded my promise. My child, the way I am making for you is the same. It requires trust, it requires obedience, it requires walking even when the path is not yet fully clear. But as you move in faith, I will move in power. Do not despise the waiting seasons. Do not despise the silence. Just because you do not hear my voice in every moment does not mean I have left you. Even in the silence, I am working. Even in the delay, I am preparing. What seems like pause to you is actually positioning in my plan. The Israelites wandered in the wilderness, and though they felt delayed, every step was preparing them to inherit the land I promised. Likewise, the delays in your life are not denials. They are divine setups for greater fulfillment. When I make a way, it is not only about deliverance, it is about transformation. I do not simply want to bring you out of the storm. I want to make you stronger because of it. I do not only want to remove the obstacle, I want to give you eyes that see differently, faith that trusts deeper, and courage that stands firm. The way I make is not just an escape, it is an invitation into maturity, growth, and deeper intimacy with me. Consider Joseph, betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, imprisoned. His journey was filled with what looked like dead ends. But every pit, every prison, every setback was actually a pathway I was carving. Through those very impossibilities, I was positioning him to stand in the palace, not only to save nations, but to fulfill the dream I placed in him as a boy. What looked like chaos was actually choreography. What looked like destruction was actually destiny. My child, do you see, I am making a way for you the same way. Even your detours, even your pain, even your disappointments, they are not wasted. They are part of the road I am building. And hear me, the way I make for you is not fragile. It is not dependent on men, on governments, on systems, or on the approval of others. It is secured by my own hand. No weapon formed against you will prosper, because I have already determined your future. No scheme of the enemy, no mistake of your past, no failure you've made will cancel the way I am creating. My plan for you is anchored in my unchanging love, and nothing can break what I have established. I know you fear what lies ahead. I know you wrestle with the unknown. Child, the unknown to you is not unknown to me. The path you cannot see is already finished in my sight. I am Alpha and Omega. I see the beginning and I see the end. And because I see it all, you can rest. You can breathe. You can let go of the anxiety that grips you, because I am already ahead of you preparing the way. When the Israelites came to the Jordan River, it was at flood stage, impossible to cross. As the priests stepped into the waters carrying the ark, the river stopped flowing and a dry path opened. Notice this, the miracle did not happen until they stepped forward. In the same way, my child, your miracle may not unfold until you step out in faith. Do not wait for every detail to be clear. Do not wait for certainty before moving. Step with me and watch the river stop before your eyes. This is not the end for you. This is not where your story closes. You will not remain stuck. You will not remain surrounded by impossibility. I am the God who specializes in impossibility. I am the God who makes the crooked places straight, who levels mountains, who breaks through iron gates, the same God who opened the sea, who fed thousands with a few loaves, who raised the dead. That same God is at work in your life right now. So lift your eyes. Do not fix your gaze on the walls around you. Look up. Look to me, the maker of heaven and earth. I am not intimidated by your circumstances. I am not worried by the lack you see. I am not shaken by the deadlines, the pressure, the fears that surround you. I am making a way, steady, sure, unstoppable. And when it is revealed, you will testify that it was not your wisdom, not your strength, not your strategy, but my power, my grace, and my love that carried you through. Hold on, child. Keep walking. Keep trusting. The way is being carved even as you read these words. Soon, what was impossible will become possible. What was closed will swing open. What was barren will bloom. You will know beyond a shadow of a doubt, your God made a way. Beloved, as you stand at the threshold of what seems impossible, know this, you are not alone. I am with you. I have gone before you, and I am already there, preparing the way. The road you cannot see is not unseen to me. The obstacles you face are not too great for my power. I am the one who parts parts the sea, who makes streams in the desert, who turns ashes into beauty. And I will make a way for you where there seems to be no way. You may not understand every turn, every delay, every challenge, but trust in this. I am